Hello friends, in this video we will talk about why GPUs are more suited for deep learning. Whether you play games or you do deep learning programming and learn different models, their training, their inference, all require GPUs. Why is this case? Why CPU cannot fulfill your requirement? In this video we will talk about this topic. Stay tuned. We will meet after a short intro. So let's take a look why GPUs are winning over CPUs. So CPU is central processing unit, GPUs are graphics processing unit. They have a very peculiar features of being fast and doing things in parallel. That's why GPUs are preferred for any high compute intensive tasks like deep learning or gaming, but CPU fails. So why is this case? Is it only because GPUs are much faster and that too through parallelism, or there is some any other reason? Before diving deep about the reason, let's think about how the processing works in a compute intensive task, whether it is game or deep learning. There are so many matrix multiplication that needs to be required for such operations, any graphics related stuff or deep learning where neural networks are trained using matrix multiplication, and this requires a lot of computation because you have to multiply all the elements of row with column and then add up. So if the dimension of this matrix is, let's say, A into B, then dimension of this matrix has to be B into C. B should be common, else C can be anything, right? So these two are common. Then after the multiplication of this matrix, the output will be A into C, the final matrix dimension, but operation will be required into B. So there are so many operations that will take place. Now when operation take place, there are two things. One is computation and other is memory. You need to read the data from the drive from your storage to process this information. And there is a catch. The GPUs are not only doing parallelism, that is only one aspect, but memory is more important in such operation. CPUs are optimized for latency. That means CPUs try to fetch the data from storage as fast as possible, whereas GPUs are optimized for memory bandwidth. What does it mean? Let's take an example. Let's say there is a memory and CPU. CPU required to fetch some information from your memory, and there is a Ferrari. So CPU can be considered as Ferrari. It will help to read the data as fast as possible and provide to your CPU so that it can compute. Whereas GPUs are big trucks, means they can load lot of memory at one instance, but they are slower to reach GPU. Whereas Ferrari has the advantage of speed, but they can load very small fraction of data. But now in this case, as memory read is very slow, so how GPUs are faster? So when memory reaches to GPU, they know they have lot of data to process and they can read as required as the computation power of GPUs supports. But once all this memory is used, then the truck will go to the your storage and read another set of data, but this process is slow. So in this case, this latency will kill the performance of GPU. To deal with this scenario, what GPUs have done, that they read the data using multiple trucks, that is parallelism. So when one truck is unloading that memory to GPU to process, other trucks are already in line. But once this first truck is done with all the memory, then the first truck will go for reading it again. In that time, the second truck and third truck will service whatever the requirements of GPUs. That's a very good example and analogy to understand the memory usage and CPU usage, how they are optimizing for your calculations. Whereas even if there are multiple Ferraris we involve for CPU, then in that case the only small memory will be there. So this transition, this IO operation is always costly in terms of time. So even with having multiple Ferraris, CPU will not be able to process that much information. And definitely GPUs are loaded with so many processors where they can do that much processing. Another reason why GPUs are much faster is because of L1 and register memory. Consider there is a RAM which has loaded some memory, but for processing by the GPUs or CPUs, they read data much faster from these registers. CPUs are having the small number of registers, whereas GPUs are having multiple registers. The number of registers are high, which makes the GPU to process the memory faster, and the reading of this data will happen parallelly. Though there are differences in number of GPU registers the GPUs has and number of registers which CPUs has, and the types and their processing, how they works is little different, but still in simplistic term, if we want to understand the advantage because of which the GPUs take, registers are the main reason for faster processing once memory is loaded in RAM. So that's why you might be seeing in this time, because of the higher investment in the deep learning and models, and many companies are trying to build models, many students are doing model creation and learning machine learning and deep learning. Because of that there is a chip war which is going on, because the GPU and CPUs are built using the chips, and these chips are not very easily available, are controlled by few companies, and the raw material are controlled by few countries. So you might have seen why having control over the GPUs or CPUs and their material is very important to develop a very good machine learning models and run the computer science problems, solve that particular problems. So I hope this video and simple analogy helped you in understanding why GPUs are more important and how they are working and they are functioning. Why GPUs are used in deep learning and gaming, it is this reason: because of lot of calculation, it requires high processing power and faster memory access. It is not just the thread parallelism which is making GPU faster, it is because it is memory bandwidth optimized. So I hope you liked the video, you understood the concept. Please share this video with your friends. Click the like button on this video. Subscribe to this channel. It will help this channel to grow. Please let me know on what other topics you are looking for content like this. I'll be more than happy to create content on such topics. With this note, I'll take a leave. This is BK from Anika signing off.